Oh my god. Oh my god. Like shit. Like seriously. Oops, wrong thing. I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. Oh, goddamn. Cat reset my computer. I don't know if this is going to take me down to the prison or what. Oh god, where am I? Okay, okay, I'm good. Ugh, hell. That might happen again. It could happen again. So, yeah. Yeah, what a fucking amazing parole hearing this has been so far. And we're just getting started. Yeah. Also, thank you for the follow, Divine Heresy. And also the Atlantic Ambassador. You know, the problem is that there's buttons are like right on top of the computer, like literally right on top of the computer, and the cat just has to sit on it. So, playing with fire. I hope this was all worth it. B. This has been a fucked up. This whole thing has been a shit show. This whole thing has been a shit show, B. This whole thing has been an absolute shit show. The trial beforehand, shooting, and just bodies everywhere, blood and guts, and in living color, and just... It's been fucking absolutely... Like, I almost wonder if this parole hearing is... It seemingly is going to happen, but it's just... I'm wondering what form it's even going to take at this point. And also, my cat might decide to reset the computer again, so there's that, too. Yeah, my bot does still work.
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah, I feel like you were probably ready 2 hours ago.
Yeah, you could say that.
How many ever years and what's two more months?
I know, right? Yeah, you know, that's nothing.
Dalton.
Yeah, he's actually bald.
Crane,
Okay.
did Brian leave already?
They said talking somewhere. I'm not sure where.
I've just got a question he might know the answer to.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry, I was thinking about.
That's okay.
I'm trying to.
Okay, I got you all slinkied up there. You know the drill.
Mm-hmm.
You're such a nerd.
Oh,
Ooh, milk.
good. Need anything else from me? Food or anything like that?
Nah, I think I'm good.
Alright. All right, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready.
That doesn't look like Barrett. I guess Barrett's not gonna be there.
Alrighty, I know there were a lot of people listed on the witness list as like character witnesses who are going to speak either for or against the concept of parole. If they're here, they'll be allowed to speak if they were listed. If they weren't listed, they will not be allowed to speak. We're going to go ahead and start off here with the filing made by the petitioners. So give me 1 second to get that up. All right, so the statement by the petitioner's attorney, Mr. Braun, is as follows. On July 26, 2022, Kenneth Jesperson was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after August 17, 2022. Since spending such a high number of years of his life in prison, Mr. Jesperson has sought the help of multiple psychiatrists and has a psychological evaluation performed by Dr. Jonathan Wright, but sadly that is unavailable. He has also sought therapy from Bob Moss since Dr. Wright's passing. Mr. Jesperson recognizes the heinous actions they once partook in and sought out forgiveness from those willing to listen. Believes he is ready to re-enter society safely. Mr. Jesperson requests to be granted a parole hearing. That has been granted, so we are here today to consider it. I'll begin by allowing Mr. Jesperson and/or his attorneys to state in their own words their petition as to why they believe he should be released.
Your Honor, before we get into that, I would just like to clarify that it was actually Ms. Cartwright who prepared, the
Okay.
filing. I simply proofed and submitted it as her senior attorney.
Understood. Go ahead, Ms. Cartwright or Mr. Jesperson.
I'll just start with my opening statement that I had made for him, and then we'll go with Kenneth.
Okay.
Okay. The petitioner wants to start with saying that none of today is to minimize the real offenses that had occurred. The victims of the crimes that Kenneth has served time for are valid in their feelings, and today we do not seek to reopen any wounds. Important factors that need to be considered are the petitioner's ability to conduct himself as a respectable and law-abiding person, and that he will be capable of his own welfare and the welfare of society. We believe that the petitioner meets the requirements to be granted parole. As stated in the filing, on July 26, 2022, Kenneth Jesperson was sentenced in relation to a plea agreement that had been reached. Kenneth was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. He was eligible for a parole hearing on August 17, 2022. It has been an additional 74 years since that date. Kenneth has served more than a life sentence at this point for his crimes. Kenneth, during his time in Bolingbrook, has sought treatment from Jonathan Wright, may Coyle rest his soul, and Bob Moss. He has apologized or attempted to apologize to those that he harmed while working on himself. He has worked to create a new, healthy life for himself with reformed action, building positive relationships in his life, and a new career path in hopefully law. He has been an upstanding inmate, and the DOC will confirm that. He is one of the best examples of a reformed inmate that is deserving of parole and a chance to continue to rectify his wrongs outside of bars. He seeks normalcy and the chance to live out his years as a positive member of society. Kenneth is not a risk to recidivism, and while we recognize that there are people that have been deeply hurt by him, and we will hear them today, and do not discount their emotions, we believe that he has served his time for those crimes and deserves to re-enter society. Okay. Would you like to go up there and make statements or ask him to question you?
All right, Mr. Jesperson, if you want to speak on your own behalf.
Okay.
Yes, yes. I have a prepared statement. It's a little on the long side. Is that all right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this is your chance to be heard.
Okay. So lately I've been seeing a visage in my head. A vision of a man wearing a burlap sack over his face and brown medieval-looking clothing. His name was Scarecrow. He was me. In this vision, I see him about to walk through a doorway into a world that no one deserved to be a part of, or could possibly even understand. I try to talk to him. I try to prevent him from going through with it, but he just smiles and laughs, and he walks through without a single care off that bright smile. What I have taken from this visage is that no matter what I do, no matter what I say, Scarecrow was who I was. Scarecrow was going to do what Scarecrow wanted to do. And most of you will see me as Scarecrow no matter what the outcome of today's proceedings are. I can't change the past. I wish that I could, but I can't. And I must accept accountability for those actions. I have accepted accountability for those actions. The things that I did, the things that I had to do, were a symptom of a place of which I lived. The one who adopted me was the warden of the prison that I grew up in, and he put me inside, not because I committed any crimes, no, but he put me inside because he could. Because he wanted to shape me and mold me into the man I would become. He wanted to create the Scarecrow. If I were to be so bold, Bolingbroke is almost like a vacation spot compared to Dark Woods, which is where I grew up. I was 13 years old, I did not commit any crime, yet there I was, a child surrounded by monsters. I had no choice but to become what my adopted father wanted me to become. To be one of his tools of destruction, his toys. However, despite the fact that I didn't have a choice then, I did have a choice when it was all over. I did have a choice when I found myself here at Los Santos. I had to learn about these new choices, and I had to learn the hard way about them, but I understood them. Things were different here. I didn't have to perpetuate the same endless cycles of utter death to feel like I did something right, or to feel satisfied. There were a lot of people I met along the way who wanted to help, who remained by my side from end to bitter end, who believed truly that I could unlearn what I was molded into. But despite the help, I kept leaning into the old, because the old was what made me feel like I could conquer the world. It was easier to be evil than to try and be good. And I got better. I did. I got better, but I kept leaning into the old. Cracks would seep through the precipice, even during the events that transpired this last year and a half, but I ignored it. I didn't want to admit it. I didn't want to say no. I wanted to keep going because I wanted to feel powerful. I craved it. I harnessed it. And for what? Feeling good in the moment. Feeling stronger than an innocent person begging and pleading with me for their life. The gall, the absolute gall that I had to believe that any one of these people deserved what I put them through. It was wrong in every conceivable way, and none of you deserved that. None of you did. The words, "I'm sorry," are not enough, and they will never be enough. Fear should not be a weapon, and I used my own fear on you. I tormented you. I changed you. I hurt you. Whether it was by my hand or the hand of someone else, it was still me who gave the decree. I did it, and I am sorry. Forgiveness should be far away from your minds. I know it is from mine. The reason why I turned myself in was to achieve a level of clarity that I could not get while out here. We go back to the concept of cracks seeking through the precipice. In an alternate reality, I never would have done anything like that, but there I was, on an island, attempting to negotiate with some police officers about my surrender. I saw the error in my ways, but even then, I was too stupid to see the extent of the damage, which is why I needed to be in prison, to learn, to actually see what I had done, to realize how good I have it here in this city compared to where I came from. I had to see, and I saw. When the opportunity for parole had arrived, I had no intention of applying for it immediately. From sentencing almost straight to application was an impossible feat that I was not intending on claiming. I needed time. I needed more time. Hell, I had even considered not applying at all, just serving out my sentence for the remainder of my pathetic excuse for a life. And yeah, I could have taken the easy way out and just gone for it as soon as it was available to me, but I didn't want to be that person. I wanted to earn it. I wanted to feel like I could earn it. I wanted to work toward it, not just take it in the hopes it would fall into my lap easy peasy. I had several therapy sessions from multiple parties. Unfortunately, one of them is no longer with us, and I won't dwell too much on it. But he was someone who saw a lot in me. Losing him was significant, to say the very least. Without him, I don't think I would have ever turned myself in. Many of the core elements of my issues lie within anger. He taught me that positivity always overcame negative feelings if you make the effort to be that positive light. If you focus on the things that actually matter in life and stop dwelling on everything that makes you sad or mad or hateful. And I want to say that I have found that structure, enabling me with the capacity to bring about positivity. No more leaning on negative impulses or thoughts. They cloud you and they burn away at the seams. I was put into Bolingbroke once before. It was brought up during my sentencing hearing, so it'd be prudent that I address it here today. Yes, I was in there, and the only reason I got out was because someone claimed to have erased all the records of my stay there. Therefore, they had no choice but to release me, immediately, no strings attached. The difference between then and now is obvious. Then I had no support structure. As far as I was concerned, I was a kid released into a candy shop with no lasting consequences whatsoever. It was inevitable that I was going to continue the same patterns exactly where I left off and even expand upon them. And no one would be able to say no. This time I have that support structure. I had that time to truly think and reflect about my actions and to seek the help necessary to ensure I don't fall down another rabbit hole. I have the people that I need to keep the checks and balances in place. I have the foundation for bigger machinations that are beneficial to society. I have everything that I need to prove to you that I can offer something better, that I can be better, that I am capable of more, that I can be more. I realize this is getting very long. We're almost done. I apologize. A psychopath is born. A sociopath is made. I am not a psychopath. I have the capacity to unlearn that what I created was wrong. A psychopath cannot learn or unlearn. A psychopath cannot love. A psychopath is and will always be, but that isn't me. I acknowledge that I have been a monstrous person, but I am not a psychopath. I can learn and I can understand pain. I have empathy, even if I lie to myself and say that I don't. My emotions are all over the place, even if I say I don't have them. I do. I always have. It's just a question of prioritizing the right emotions in the right places at the right times. And I have learned that when the going gets rough, reach out. Don't give in. Never give in. Temptation is only strong if you allow it residency within your house. But I also understand that no matter what I say here, no one in this room who hates me are going to suddenly become my champions. I've done way too much evil to them for them to see me any other way, and I understand. I truly understand. I don't deserve your attention, but just know I will do my best, and I will apologize to you all forever if I must. Even if you spit in my face, or something perhaps even worse. I deserve it, and I got off easy. Exceptionally easy. I wouldn't forgive me, or believe me either, if I were in your position. I will choose to no longer be angry. I will let go of that anger that defined me, the anger that I let go of when I was sharing a cell block in Bolingbroke with the person who murdered my sister. I wanted to kill them. I fantasized about killing them. I've hurt people for much, much less, but I didn't do it. Because if I had, I would just be a hypocrite. What right did I have to feel anger towards someone like that, when I've done the same to others, hurt their loved ones, even killed them? It made no sense, and when I came down to that conclusion, I let go of the anger. I let go of the anger I had, even became friends with that person. Because I didn't need to hurt them. We were in this together. We are all in this together. I found the clarity that I was looking for, and it took me a long time to see it, but I finally see it. And the people around me will continue to push me, the hardest they've ever had to push, perhaps to keep me in check. And it will be hard, and I will question myself. It's a long road, but I will let them do what they must, to make sure that Mr. Smiley and Scarecrow remain just that, a memory. I look back at the visage of the Scarecrow. He was who I was, but he is not the person you see in this room now. Not anymore. Thank you for granting me this time, and I really apologize for how long that was.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was deep, dog. That was deep.
Prosecution, any
Thank you.
statement you'd like to make about your opinion on the possibility of parole?
Defense still has witnesses in here, Your Honor. I've been here for 2 hours. Can I at least say something?
Yeah, once the prosecution gets to make, their statement,
That's
and the
Oph-
witnesses.
that's
Yeah, they're doing an
Ophelia.
opening. Sorry.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I misunderstood. I apologize.
Also, I've been here the same amount of time. I get it.
Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
Are we wanting to call Ophelia?
Alrighty. I do have one question before I do begin, though, sir.
Right, they get to
We
make a
have
statement if they want to,
recommendations
as you said.
for parole
Oh,
if he
okay,
is to
well.
be granted it. Would you like those now or later?
Any more food and
After you
water?
made
I'm
After
literally dying
I
here.
deliberate, I'll ask for them.
Perfect. Alrighty.
Kennedy.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Give you about a moment. Let me just sip on some water.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was deep for
Stole
me.
my last food, but I'll survive. It's back there.
You get fucking free food at the pizzeria.
Kenneth Jesperson is a cult leader. A leader who seeks to manipulate his victims to do his bidding. He pled guilty to this. Nearly bragged about it to the court during his sentencing hearing. Everything we heard felt scripted, rehearsed. And when the judge asked him to put a value on human life, he couldn't. He couldn't comprehend what a human life would mean to him. So the question here today is,
Did you receive a
has that
statement?
changed? Has prison truly changed Mr. Jesperson's ways? The state has no reason to believe so, Your Honor. What evidence has the petitioner provided today to show Kenneth's growth? What documents to attest to his good behavior? There's nothing. There are no written signs of reformation. So we look to the testimony
What's written? Oh.
brought forth today by the petitioner. A simple and clear explanation for the people he keeps around. Some are individuals who are convicted of attempting to kill cops. One is a person who was fired from DOC. One is a convicted terrorist. These are the people he's
Wait,
brought
who?
forth to vouch for his character, for who he is. Now, granted, also on that list is Bob Moss, someone who could truly dive deep into the psyche of the petitioner. However, we do not know what his procedures are, what his methods are, for Bob Moss is not a licensed therapist with the Los Santos Medical Group. My apologies, let me just mute my phone. For Bob Moss is not a licensed therapist with the Los Santos Medical Group. We are certain Moss does good work, but can we be sure he's done a thorough and complete investigation into the petitioner? We don't believe we can. The remaining two are both DOC guards. Whilst both a good guide on his public persona, it would only show what Mr. Jesperson wants to show. A prisoner's personality in the eyes of their natural adversary, guards. Now, Your Honor, consider the consider the opinions of the victims.
Who's that?
These
Oh,
people
I
who
think
were
Oswaldo
directly affected
Pingafria.
by the man
Oswaldo
himself.
Pingafria is a
You will
terrorist,
hear
I think.
testimony here today from these victims on whether or not Mr. Jesperson has even tried to make amends with such people. Now, these are the opinions that matter, for they will tell you the effect that this man will have on the society around him if he is lucky enough to be free. That is what you have to consider, Your Honor. Has this man served his time? Has he truly been punished and reformed for his crimes? If he is to be let free, will he continue down that path again?
So Oswaldo never actually got
Or will he
charged, I don't
truly
think.
take this path of civility like he claims? Your Honor, the state doesn't believe he will. This
Well, of
man
course the
doesn't
state
show
doesn't believe he
remorse.
will.
When he turned himself in, playing like he was a good guy for doing so, he had two bodies laying next to his feet. That isn't the actions of a remorseful man. These are the actions of a killer and a cultist. Even today, he claims not to be a psychopath, but then openly talks about how he wished to kill his cellmate. No, Your Honor.
Which
We
he
believe that
didn't, though.
regardless of what he says,
The whole point of the
Neither did
story
I.
was that he
he
didn't,
will
though.
return to his own ways.
That was the
his
whole
old
point of
ways.
the story.
For all of this is not a matter of if, but when. When will Mr. Jesperson return to leaving his smiling grin upon his prey? Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Miss May, are you speaking?
Yes, I do have a statement, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
Not you, May.
My statement is not that extensive, but as someone that was there for all of the path between the beginning of Carcer World, about what Kenneth did, people that he influenced and so on did. I think today is the day that we need to talk about second chances.
Oh shit.
Does this man deserve another one?
Oh.
And I say another one because it's not the first time that Kenneth Jesperson is facing these crimes, these charges, and he has done these in the past. He has a whole book about it, Mr. Smiley. He talked about it like it was this pride and joy, but who am I to talk about his character?
Well, wait, that's exactly what you're
Kenneth
doing, though.
Jesperson has led and brainwashed several members of World. A movement is what he called this a long time ago. This movement tormented civilians of the city. Some who are still lucky to be here today and give their statements.
Wait, who is
But
that?
unfortunately, not all of them can.
Who is that with the black hair?
Kenneth Jesperson has manipulated others that weren't as lucky as him. And I say this because these others are currently serving life sentences for the crimes that have been committed under the name of World. By allowing Kenneth to walk the streets of Los Santos, we're failing our civilians. We're failing our security, and Your Honor, we might fail some of the people in this room today. This is a man that holds grudges. Just ask Kiki Pendragon. He
Well, there's a black-haired woman over there. That's what I'm looking at.
her, calling her through an unknown phone number several times throughout the month. We had suspicions that he had certain attacks planned, and we tried our best to stop them, till we couldn't. He didn't forget about Kiki until he got her blood in his hands. Mr. Smiley has had his chance. He's had a second chance. And he proved us that he has no place in the city. He can tell you that he's changed, that he'll show you, that he has the best intentions to help. But deep down, he ended up always falling into the same path and influencing others to continue this path of terror. Your Honor, today we ask you to think about the victims, to think about those who survived World attacks, because Kenneth Jesperson was behind all of them. Thank you.
Your Honor, just so you're Mixed Flowers, one of our witnesses, needs to make a statement now because they need to leave the city. If that's all right with you.
Okay, go ahead. We're going to be hearing from character witnesses, and we'll start with Miss Flowers and then Miss Dawson.
Okay.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
Hi, it's me. Okay. At the sentencing hearing, I talked a lot about Rick, but this isn't his hearing, it's Kenneth's. So I'm actually going to focus on him this time. It's been just over a year since Kenneth Jesperson ruined my life. I was lured to the back steps of the Sisyphus Theater with promises of belonging and friendship. Desperate for someone who would understand my confusing, scary feelings, I wanted the support that the Smileys claimed to offer. Unaware of what was about to happen to me, I signed away my life, and the naive Mayflowers was kidnapped and taken away to be destroyed. I was tortured for 5 days in a shack on the outskirts of Harmony, whipped and beaten and carved into, brought to the edge of death multiple times and forced to take the lives of others. And this was a normal process that Kenneth put people through in order to join his organization. He pushes and pushes until he breaks you, changing you into a monster unless you die first. For me, I guess I did both. I was tortured until the person known as Mayflowers died, and myself, Fauna, hi, that's me, was cobbled together by my own mind trying to piece itself back together. Kenneth Jesperson masterminded this. Many, many more people than you know have died in the Smiley's black sites under Kenneth's orders, usually at the hands of other captives. Kenneth is a manipulator, a liar, and a bully. His power is to surround you with extreme violence, to normalize what is happening to you and what he does, until it becomes the only thing you know. Any challenges to his worldview or flaws pointed out in his plans are met with denial or anger. He lies to lie. He lies and lies until the only thing you can do is believe his version of reality. The version he made by lying to himself about who he is, that he's a good person. Eventually, faced with this, you give in. Even without the torture, he slowly changes you just by being next to you. This man is a walking cognito hazard whose mere presence encourages murder and suffering. He wanted to create his own family, but instead of doing the normal found family thing that everyone else does in Los Santos, he decided to create a host of murder-brained, traumatized lunatics instead. Inspired by his upbringing in Darkwoods, I guess. I was tortured and gaslighted and brainwashed until my real family, my mother and father, my cousins, and my wife were replaced by a crowd of faces smiling in blood. My real parents still won't talk to me, convincing themselves that I'm a different person who just sounds like their child, so they don't have to face what happened to me. And I haven't been able to track down my wife.
I ran for Rachel.
My life has been changed irrevocably by the actions of this man, which he did without a single care or thought to what it would mean for me or the people around me outside the plans he had as a tool for him to use. He made me watch, unable to say anything
Did
time
nothing
and time
wrong.
again, as he stalked and plotted against people who I wanted to be friends with, people who I had been friends with, like Kiki. I was unable to act against him, powerless to do anything but watch. I screamed inside as he hurt these women, knowing that they were in danger and what was going to happen to them, but unable to say anything. Sorry. I truly believe that the only thing Kenneth has learned from this whole experience is that he is safe from prison as long as he doesn't do any of his murders himself. If he is allowed to walk free, he will continue to spread his poison throughout the city. Please keep this man in Bolingbroke where his influence can be quarantined and monitored. We need to keep the city safe from Kenneth Jesperson, now and forever after until he dies. Nobody should suffer through what I have suffered. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, who's up next? Miss Dawson, I believe, stated a concern about time.
No, I'm good. I can go whenever, Your Honor. I misunderstood the proceedings.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I'm happy to hear whoever wants to speak as a character witness. So, Miss Dawson, anybody else? If you were posted on the docket, form a queue, I guess.
Yeah, if anyone else has time constraints, they can go first. I'm good.
I'm not gonna stress about speaking for or against. I'm just gonna hear people as they come.
Your Honor, I have one written statement that I received due to them being unable to attend, if you don't mind me reading it.
Okay, yeah, you could speak on their behalf with the statement.
So I'll have, well, technically I've been sent 3, but one of them was not listed on the docket, so I do not want to breach that rule that you're setting, sir.
Okay.
Okay. This one is from Viola Enns. Kenneth has always been a kind and trustworthy person to me. In the many months that I have known him, he has never lied to me nor turned his back on me. I strongly believe that he has an amazing amount of potential to prove himself and become the best version of himself with the right amount of rehabilitation and mental health.
Was it my
encouragement.
fault? I swear.
We all deserve second chances, so why shouldn't he? That's all.
All right.
that one I sent
Miss
you.
Dawson,
We
you
can.
wanna come up?
Do you want me to
Yeah,
present
sure.
it?
I'm pro Ken, which might not be obvious, but that's whatever. I don't have anything like super written out because I don't like preparing, but I'll just.
Yes.
So Kenneth Jesperson is an egotistic coward. I think most of us in this room can agree on that. And we could also go over semantics, what kind of crimes in the city are worse, like the punishment you get for killing a cop versus killing like anybody else or trying to kill anybody else or whatever. We can also talk about who Ken is now and who he was. Like, I mean, we even heard from Odessa, like, when he confessed, it was with bodies at his feet. He likes grandstanding, he likes being in public. Like, basically, Ken isn't gonna do this again. He's not gonna commit these crimes again because he won't be able to take credit if he does. And the thing that he likes more than anything else is credit. Like, he's not gonna want to go back to Bolingbrook. The police are gonna be on him the second he does anything. His organization is in shambles. Like, it would be unlikely he'd be able to build a new one because, again, like, the second we get anything resembling carceral, Petey's gonna be all over him. So, like, letting him out doesn't pose any more of a risk than letting him in. Like, people have talked about, oh, he can build an army on the outside. He can do that in Bolingbrook just as easily. Like, the amount of things you can do from Bolingbrook is astounding. Basically, I think Ken's been in prison a long time. He's probably not learned his lesson, but who knows if he ever will. Letting him out doesn't really pose more of a risk than keeping him in my opinion.
Oh, she's actually speaking more for him. She's actually.
All right. Thank you, ma'am, for your testimony. Anybody else?
That was actually more
Okay, I
pro.
have confirmation from Austin Barrett that due to the terrorism stuff that was happening at Bolingbrook, he can't make it. He did send me his statement. It's
That's
written
fine.
like a speech. Okay. So,
He's a DOC member.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you can read that for him.
Okay. Your Honor, people of the court, during Mr. Jesperson's stay in prison, Mr. Jesperson was one of many model inmates. From his arrival till date, Mr. Jesperson exhibited a struggle of thoughts and seemed to have battled his mind. It started with a situation where Mr. Jesperson put himself under risk of lethal fire to attend to an injured guard, even after being instructed by myself, as I myself were injured, to simply get to the designated lockdown area. Mr. Jesperson was shot down in that incident. Mr. Jesperson's attendance to the guard was his natural instinctive response. Through my observations and various conversations with Mr. Jesperson, I believe Mr. Jesperson has and is still in need of therapeutic aid, which is neither a limitation of being in prison or being paroled. I do not believe Mr. Jesperson's stay in prison helps in his ability to receive this aid either. During my conversations with Mr. Jesperson exhibited care mostly for others around himself, specifically people close to himself, such as his girlfriend Ursula. While most of our conversations were revolving around himself, Mr. Jesperson seemed more interested in simply being at peace and being with those whom he cared to see beyond his crimes, to battle the little that didn't cease to exist. I also once witnessed Mr. Jesperson wear his Smiley mask during his struggles, which I can only describe as an attempt to see whether it is the same as it used to be. Since then, I haven't seen him wear it again, and since parallel to that event, Mr. Jesperson began to exhibit what I've described in my earlier statements. With that said, I do believe Mr. Jesperson should be let out on parole. Thank you.
Claim it on, honey.
My name is Misha Standal. I worked as DOC for 4 months. I started working a week before Kenneth was sentenced. I was one of the guards that transported him there, so I witnessed most of his time at Bolingbroke. So I wanted here to just start with that we are here for parole hearing. So we are here to assess, or you, Your Honor, are here to assess based on our testimonies, if Kenneth Jesperson changed. If he is good enough to come back to society on parole. So I think the testimonies that will be presented here from his stay at Bolingbroke, from changes that he made in his character and personality, are much more weighted than descriptions of his character from a year ago when he was doing his crimes. So I just want to also highlight here that I was fired from DOC, but it was completely unrelated, especially to Kenneth Jesperson. It was for gross negligence of my duties, after which I was rehired a month later. And back to the topic.
Sure, Steven and Shirley were the shadow leaders. Is he okay?
Is he still talking?
Cannot hear you.
I think he's...
Okay.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you after you said back to the topic. Oh,
Hey.
darn.
Next. Can't hear you either.
My apologies. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'm okay. I've written some things, so I'm just gonna read it from this.
What's your name?
I'm Patrick. Patrick Dessau.
Oh, Jesus, Patrick, I didn't recognize you. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Must be the act. Okay. I've known Kenneth Jesperson for a few years now. I know who he is. I know what he does. Did I know what he did when I first met him? No. Because he made sure people would not be onto him by acting all nice, making them sing a little song, and giving them a small Smiley pin. I was one of those people. But I know better now. After everything that I have learned about him, and I have thrown that pin away a very long time ago. I'm probably painting a target on my back by speaking here today. But let's be honest. That target has probably existed ever since the day that he attacked a friend of mine, Kiki Pendragon, and asked her about me for some mysterious reason during her attack. Why else would one of his non-affiliates want to rekindle our friendship less than a week after that attack happened? Kenneth Jesperson has had a lifelong of second chances. Today, I'd like to remind the court of a few things. Like you mentioned earlier, before he came to Los Santos, he was incarcerated in Dark Horse Penitentiary in Carson City, known as a facility for the criminally insane, for several years. When he moved in Los Santos, after he got out of there, he was sent to Parsons very early on. He then got released and claimed he was better, which is when, if I recall correctly, we all started to know him as the character known as Mr. Smiley. Which is also when that little song and pimp business I mentioned earlier started up. But voila, eventually he proceeded to go Spain again, and once again was sent back to Parsons. He even had the audacity of having a therapist call me and made me go visit him there in order to explain himself. And naive and foolish as I was,
Yeah, but this is a long time ago.
I believed it at the time, as I used to be a firm believer in giving people second chances. But that has changed now. Once again, he was released after passing some time in there, and once again, acted like he was better. But the truth is, he was not, as he caused a series of murders, 13, if I remember correctly. They actually tried to call me on his behalf for that case. The sentencing hearing he had, he actually mentioned that hearing earlier. But at that point, the line was fully crossed, and I was done. I wanted nothing to do with him anymore, and that is still how I feel to this day. He was finally sent to prison in Bolingbroke, where he was supposed to stay for a very long time. But sadly, due to that strange clerical error in the system, he was once again released into the wild. At this point, he has been in and out of incarcerations so many times, and yet he keeps on saying every time that he's going to be better, but it truly is not. By his own admission, Kenneth Jesperson is an actor. He will act that he is doing better, but the truth is, after some time, he will just fall back to his old tricks. So it's time to say, enough is enough. He's had more than enough second chances, and it's time to stop. I no longer believe he can be better, as he so claims to be. This time, let's just keep him in, and forget about the out. That is it.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. Bail Sup, who's on the list? Ursula.
Hi, Ursula Leichenberg. All right.
Yeah, we know who you are.
I guess the best way to put this is, I think out of everybody in this courtroom, I probably know Ken the best. I've sat down with him, learned his story, and yes, there's love there. But beyond that, I love hearing everyone talk about how he's had second chances and that he's, had his chance to become better. But when did he ever try? Unlike other times, perhaps he never wanted to change, but now he does. And I can't fathom why, I guess, in the justice system of Los Santos, to me, is hella messed up. I literally went over to look at the court records, and I see people out there who have 400 attempted murders on their records, standing out there, still continuously trying to kill people left and right. And I know SAC has different requirements for it. And there's MO and stuff, and there's, stalking and everything like that. But, if you're weighing crimes against each other, how can one be, perfectly okay for someone to be out on the street all the time, constantly redoing it, and another one requires a lifetime in prison when someone is genuinely trying to change? I really do believe that he is trying to change. I have spent a lot of time sitting there talking with him, talking about his path, what he wants to do after he gets out. And I don't believe he lied to me about what he wants to do, which is to live a normal life. He wants to be better. He wants to not be the person he was. He wants to prove that he can not do what he did. He never got a second chance when he left Bolingbrook the first time. He was just let go when he was still in the midst of everything that was bad in his life, when he was still in the midst of doing all the bad stuff. This is his second chance. The other time wasn't. That was still in the midst of psychosis and everything. But now he
Does everybody keep... Oh no. What is she doing?
You all right, ma'am?
Oh yeah, I'm all right.
Oh no, really?
Sorry about that. You, I want nothing to do with you. I am so angry that she's still with you at this time. Sorry, I'm not going to give any more statement. I'm done. I'm done.
Not
I
Ursula.
am still angry that you manipulated her into this relationship, and we're done.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
She has multiple personalities. Okay.
Yeah, she does.
Wow.
okay. Who's up next?
After that lovely exit, we have two written statements that we're going to read forth. I'm going to have Commander May read one, and then myself will read the other.
Oh.
Just so you don't have to listen to my voice longer than you have to.
I'll approach right now, Your Honor, and this is a statement sent by Thomas Normandy. Cassandra Silverton, Stephen Hayes, Shirley Lemons. You might have met these three people around the city. Cassandra works right here in the city hall, so I know you definitely know her. These people have two things in common. The first being they would never intentionally hurt another human being. The second being they were all attacked by Kenneth Jesperson. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. The fact we're standing here discussing the possibility of someone like Kenneth Jesperson getting back on the streets is a perfect example of the problem with the justice system in Los Santos. The possibility of a death penalty was discussed. How do we go from that to the possibility of parole? This man will never change. He's a serial killer, a cult leader, and someone who lives with no remorse for the things that he's done. Not only does he personally attack people himself, but he brainwashed other people into doing the same thing. This is not just a serial killer. This is a serial killer who creates serial killers. I'm sure I don't need to tell anyone, there's too many serial killers in the city already. He even influenced people like Brett Maxwell and Rick Locke to attack people, including myself. I'm not going to go into the things Kenneth has done or the reasons he should never get out of prison, because you all already should know what those things are. What I will say is Judge Cross, Judge Green, and anyone else making the decision today will have blood on their hands if he ends up back on the street. It will not only be extremely disrespectful to all of the victims. Oh,
There he is.
Oh, he's back.
yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay. It will not only be extremely disrespectful to all of the victims, but more victims will join them. And I will put more of the blame on the justice system if that happens than I will on Kenneth Jesperson. Make the right decision. Thank you, Your Honor. That's the statement of Thomas Normandy.
All right.
His words, not mine.
We're happy to let Mr. Standell finish his statement if he wished.
All right.
Before-
Sorry for
Yeah.
that. All right. So, coming back to the topic. Earlier today, Odessa spoke about lack of evidence of change for Kenneth, and I think that lack of said evidence is the thing that speaks about this change. There is no reports of his violent outbursts, no reports of him doing any heinous things in the prison. As already stated by Austin, he was outstanding and model inmate that cared for other people. And the one guard that was mentioned there, where he basically lived under bullet fire to save his life, is me. That I wanted to mention it a little bit earlier, a little bit later in my statement. But yeah, I think that time he saved my life. So I had a lot of talks with Kenneth during his stay at Bolingbroke, mainly about remorse, reflection. There was no anger. He accepted being wrong during those talks. At first, from what I know about him, I was suspecting that he was trying to manipulate me or something. But after that eventful moment when he was trying to save my life, I'm not so sure that he was trying to manipulate me. I think that he really reflected upon his life, and he really truly feels remorse. He told me that if he would get parole, he was thinking about getting hired at Shragway. I know people at Shragway. Janet, attendant. That's a very good environment for everybody to get their footing back again in the outside world, outside Bolingbroke. So, will we allow ourselves to be vengeful to our core and not allow this man a parole, even if he has changed? I think that forgiveness and hope for a change are the greatest representation of our culture, greatest representation and foundation of our society. So, should we stray away from them? I don't think so. I think that Kenneth really deserves parole. Thank you.
Okay, is anyone else present who was listed as a witness, character witness?
I just have one last witness statement to read from Kiki Pendragon.
Okay.
Ready? I'm just gonna pull up my phone.
It theoretically should.
Last time we were together, I spoke of the suffering that Kenneth put me through, both the physical and the mental. It has been so long since then, and while I have made improvements from it, there are things that are very likely going to be with me forever because of him. The awkwardness of telling people closest to me that they can't surprise me because it upsets a part of my brain.
Thank you for the follow.
I can't let go of the paranoia he put me through for months, looking over my shoulder, making sure my back is never exposed, never wanting to be alone unless there is a way to check on me. It's nice to have company, but sometimes you do just want to be alone. However, I don't feel like I could truly ever have that luxury. Because what if someone tries to finish what Kenneth started with me? It isn't something I can ever forget. The thought of the possibility of Kenneth Jesperson being free on the streets again is horrifying to me. It keeps me up at night, and it terrifies me to no end. The man is a manipulator. Of course he's going to tell people he's changed. He's fine. He won't hurt again. I would give him this benefit of the doubt if this was the first time doing this, but it's not. This has literally happened before, and he happily did it again. He's just going to do it all over again after a few months of behaving. And then what? We're back here again, doing this whole song and dance again. This man cannot be trusted, or cannot be trusted out and free with the general populace. And that thought, and the thought that I might have to see his face out and about, like nothing has ever happened, puts me on edge. I'm not his only victim who is still haunted by the memory of what he did. You can even count the other Smileys he had brainwashed into his little family. My stance on how I feel about this man has not changed in the time that he's been imprisoned, and it will never change. I do not believe this man deserves forgiveness, and I do not believe he deserves freedom. He deserves to be trapped and alone to suffer and reflect on what he did to everyone around him for the rest of his life. That was a statement from Kiki Pendragon.
Who's that?
All right. Is there anyone else in the gallery who was listed as a character witness who wants to speak?
Oh, come on. Hey, just so you know, Ursula meant everything that she said. It's the other one that
Right.
doesn't like me.
Right.
That needs to be addressed. If you can.
Is it?
Yes, if there's any type of conversation that you have with Crane or whatever.
I mean,
I guess there's really not much we can.
I know. It's like, how do you explain that she's, you know what I mean? Does that make it look worse? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Is there anything else you need to bring forward there, Kennedy?
Well, so first I did want to state that prior to Jonathan Wright's passing, I had spoken to him about Jesperson. He was willing to write a psychological statement. They had seen each other, I believe he said 4 to 5 times, and they had planned to continue. So I do want to say that I did speak with him personally. They had been going through counseling together. He was willing to make a statement. And then Bob Moss, he has continually tried to reach out. As you know, it's hard currently to find psychologists that are consistent. So he has been trying to after Jonathan Wright's passing.
Understood.
And then how do I present the Ursula situation?
All right. Does anyone else want to bring anything forward?
Should I just say, do you want
other,
clarification?
Yes, clarification.
Things I need to pay attention to from either side.
Would you, I guess we're wondering if you want clarifications about the Ursula situation.
I'm well aware of
Perfect.
Ursula's proclivities.
Yes.
I've known her for a good long time now, and I'm well aware that,
That's all. That's perfectly fine.
What about the Sydney Bearmont thing?
Which one was that?
The email that I sent you about how we spoke.
Both statements as if they were made by.
She's not here. It's like outside of the realm. You know what I mean?
All right.
I mean, it's tough because other people just didn't show. You know what I mean? Like, what can we do?
Okay. So hearing nothing else, I guess I'll ask the state now, Odessa, if you'd like to offer me any suggestions of if I were to grant parole, what conditions you would like imposed.
Yep.
Be clear, this is not a statement that I am doing so. This is me understanding the full input from both sides.
Of course. Alrighty. If Kenneth is to be given parole, strict guidelines will have to be
List to me
applied.
which ones you're not
No weapons of
comfortable
any
with, if any.
kind, no drugs, no alcohol. Complete cooperation with UPD, including communications via 311 for the state of the parole period. Any violent misdemeanor or felony should also be grounds for violation. We believe that the general conditions of parole that haven't been mentioned should also apply here. The parole period itself should be long and extensive, if not for life. This would be parole for a life sentence. Only truly good behavior should be
Yeah,
the
but so was Dean
qualifier for anything
Goldberry.
shorter
Dean
than life
Goldberry
parole.
had a life sentence.
Such good behavior could also be a qualifier.
May
for
Flowers had a life
for
sentence.
removal
Well, no,
of
no,
certain
actually, no, they
stricter
didn't. No, they
conditions.
didn't. That's wrong. That's wrong.
We also ask that he meet with a licensed psychologist on the regular. Next, we request that any and all communication with previous victims and members of the Carcer World organization be prohibited outside of those individuals completing their jobs or in the event of emergencies. We ask that he take every effort to conclude such conversations if they arise. We'd like to reiterate that parole is a gift, not a luxury. The courts have a duty to ensure that they are preventing any possibility of going back to his old ways. A list of individuals can be provided in the event that this is approved. Finally, we ask that he gets a real job in doing something that contributes to the community. This can be as simple as delivering packages or flipping burgers. A stable employment
I'll
may
let
be the
him
thing
know
he
about the
needs to keep
employment.
busy
Yeah,
and to
yeah.
prevent him from returning down these
Sorry.
dark paths. So whilst the state adamantly approves his parole, these are the recommended conditions that we brought forth for you today, should you choose to go that way.
I did want to note, which I spaced, Bill Mays has hired him onto his firm as a paralegal and just kind of secretary assistant. But Bill Mays, was called but is not here.
Sorry, say that again.
Bill Mays is taking him on as an employee, I believe, secretary or some legal work type stuff.
Okay. Anything else?
Do you have anything to add about the whole parole thing? Or is that just for the state?
Are you comfortable with it?
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even hear almost a single word that she said.
It's
but
exactly what we talked about. It's just, try to see a psychologist, no violent misdemeanors or felonies, and communication with prior victims or those involved with Carcer World.
Okay.
They didn't specifically name anybody though.
Okay.
It was just unless it's an emergency or you can try to avoid it, try and
Right.
leave the
Got
conversation. as
anything
soon as
else,
possible.
Kennedy?
Right.
We were just discussing those parole terms real quickly, just to see if we had, if he was comfortable with all those or wanted to state anything else.
Okay. And any response to those?
How do you feel? Is there anybody you feel like you wanted to speak with?
What do you mean?
I mean, are you okay with those? Are you comfortable if that's what's given?
Yes.
I believe we're comfortable with those.
Okay. I will retire to deliberate. I'll be back out.
They weren't anything crazy.
This might take a little
You don't
bit.
even
I
have
gotta
to
look
check
over a
in.
bunch of stuff.
Just wild.
I'll let you know.
Well, no, she did say 311.
Oh, okay. 311. That's easy though. That's just I'm around, and move on. And then also saying that they would lower those with good behavior is already pretty nice.
Hey, Misha.
How we doing?
Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
It's alright.
Thanks for coming out. I appreciate that.
Phone before that, but he was super busy with all that terrorist shit.
Which one was it?
Austin's.
Oh yeah. You missed it.
So
I
wait,
was
who are
able
you?
to read his statement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
he sent
you
me a
read it.
statement.
You read it before me.
Sir?
So
Sir, right
I
there.
missed it.
Oh, I got you. Sorry. I
What?
missed
What
it.
was that, sir?
Who are you?
Anyway,
I'm Kennedy's. I'm the senior
talk
partner
quickly on
in,
the phone.
in
What was
Kennedy's,
that?
I think,
Who's
law
talking?
firm. I think she works for me. I don't know.
Oh,
Point
gosh.
being, I was her
Altered
senior attorney
senses
and
of
filed
an
this for her,
accent.
and I'm here to show support. We've been working
her
together all day,
altered personality,
and I'm
yes.
familiar with your case
Yeah,
somewhat.
what's the
I'm
name?
just here for
Oh,
support
I
if
don't know.
needed.
Oh,
Gracie.
okay, no
Sadly.
worries.
Gracie.
I don't know. I haven't met her.
All right. I just want to make sure.
Okay.
Rachel's
Okay.
I'm not
Well,
gonna-
Yeah.
my name is Ken. I'm a terrible person. And nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Oh,
Name
yeah,
is,
sorry,
Joshua
yeah.
Johnson.
Hello,
Who?
Josh.
What?
Yep.
Hey, who's that
What's so
dog?
funny, Kennedy?
Nothing. I'm now a solo, which is nice. So I don't, I don't have to be. I get to just be an attorney now, which is great. Remember
Alright,
how
this-
our previous.
Based on what I just said, does that mean
Huh?
you've officially quit the law firm?
I don't know. We're I don't know.
Because we are trying to go in together on an office right now, so it'd be
Right,
good
right,
to
right.
know this at least at some point soon, preferably before I do any more helping you.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
mean,
good.
you told me before that you were gonna add me. You literally like asked me for all that shit.
You have not given me a straight answer. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna add you and
if you
do
want to
clerical
be,
work.
no, I am not gonna be your bitch.
I didn't say no. I'm
Okay,
not
you
saying
said
that. I'm
clerical
saying
work.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, the clerical work of adding you back to the law
Oh, I
firm.
thought
I'm
you were
not gonna
saying
do
I
it till
had
you
to
give
do
me
clerical
to give me
work.
an enthusiastic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes,
I
I'd love
have
to
no
be part of the
idea.
Yes,
team.
very clearly, Yumi and Rosa are the dream team. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And hopefully Norman Adams. We still need to get him,
Oh, I'm working with
And-
Adams on
and
something
we
else.
can-
I'll chat with him.
and we can discuss this friend Cyrus of yours. But I don't think that I am not going to have the law firm be any larger
No,
than
we don't need to
5
go
people.
wild.
Fauna's
Yeah.
always
Five-
roasting
five
Ken.
people is the maximum,
That's a lot.
absolute maximum that I will take market share wise of attorneys in the city, because there needs to be enough to go around and be
Yes, agreed.
out of conflict. So yeah,
All
five,
right,
five is,
all
is
right,
sort of the
Rachel.
magic number.
Appreciate you being
I'll
here.
chat with Norman.
coverage.
I think he's solo. I don't know if he's pretty content solo, but I do have stuff I'm working with him on.
He
Pretty
said he would
closely.
discuss it with me, and we'd
Yeah.
have a talk. But
Yeah, that's good.
I need some pressure from other directions on that too.
Okay, well, I'll let him know I'm working with you, and him and I get along really well.
Be a great fit,
Right.
Get along
him
with
and I
him
are a
real
good
well.
fit, so yeah, exactly.
and him and I share a lot of.
Yeah, and then Steven will
sensibilities
fire
and
him on the
opinions,
first day.
about
So-
the justice system.
Gucci.
I think that's what he realized for me too. Is like, oh wait, I really can agree with her on most things, so it's good.
I don't know.
I'm
There's a
gonna
lot
think
to
about something
consider,
for a minute.
obviously, about this, but like, fucking.
Your statement was lovely, Kenneth.
Thank you. I
was gonna tell people like, oh, it's showboat. Well, when you have that long in prison to think about it, you should have a great statement.
yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
not much else to do really.
No, not really. I don't know. I was bringing up the Sydney stuff because I wanted to at least make him aware, or at least it's too late now, but I wanted to make him
Right.
aware that somebody did actually, we had a conversation and that there was a mutual understanding between both of us, and that's why I sent you those little.
No,
the
I know,
emails,
and
just
but I
to-
thought that they were gonna. I thought that somebody was gonna come, actually give testimony.
Right. No, you're right.
That was the problem. Is like
Yeah.
if they didn't come, you know what I mean? I'm bringing in outside
Mm-hmm.
like stuff that we didn't mention was my only thing.
Right.
He's like, okay, I'll just hear it, but I'm not putting weight on it. Is how kind of judges work.
Mm-hmm.
You can say whatever you want. I think if they had shown, then we would have been in a different position
Right.
to state it. I mean, I think I'm glad that Crane knows her personality. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have a good shot. You've been in there for a long time.
Yeah. And he's not
I
also
check
not.
on
He's
her
also
still?
not. Yeah. If you can.
Okay, I'll check on her.
Also, he's still back there, so.
Oh, she's on the phone with someone.
I didn't actually foresee that. I should have.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I mean, Crane knows her well, so that worked out fine.
I have no idea who those 3 people are in the audience right now.
Ursula's fine. Gracie's only a little mad. She says she could have blown you up if she wanted to, and she didn't, so...
Jesus, that's not like Gracie.
Well, not literally, like, metaphorically, blown up any
Oh,
chance he had of...
right. Also, I appreciate you, you know, saying what you
I'm
said.
being honest. A lot of this, like, oh, Kenneth pulled me from fire bullshit, it's not gonna fly. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, look at what you've done in the past. Like, honestly, I don't think that you're gonna do anything again, and that's what it boils down to.
Yeah. Can I tell you something, though?
Yeah, what's up?
I can't exactly approach you, but,
I can come closer, fuck it.
if you can. Were you going to speak out against me, originally?
No.
Hmm.
I was always gonna give you a little bit of shit, because, like, that's just who I am.
No,
And I
no,
told people
you're just like
that-
your, cousin. Wait, is he your cousin?
I don't know.
Who's your cousin? Toby is your cousin, right?
Toby's my cousin, yeah.
Okay, yeah, right. You're just like your cousin.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
No, I've told a couple people that I wasn't sure if I was gonna speak for or against you, just to kind of see what would get to your ears.
I see. Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
I like the gossip train in this city. It's funny to manipulate them because they think they know what I'm gonna do, and then I do the other thing.
Because, I mean, you're a lot like Toby because it's just like, he fucking told me... okay, so I'm a subpar serial killer, right? I'm not even very good at it, so, you know... Just, you know, just give me grounds for parole based on that, right? Right?
Yeah, I mean, we've worked together in the past. I know how subpar you are.
Yeah, I'm so subpar.
But I think, honestly, you've got a good chance. I don't think you did much favors for yourself with the visions of a man in a scarecrow mask a bit, but...
Well, I mean,
we'll
that's
see
who
how
I
it goes.
was, you know? That's who I was.
Yeah, but it came across like I've been having hallucinations rather than what you meant, which is...
Well, I'm very...
I've been
Listen, I'm
meditating on a
very
concept of-
alliterative.
Illustrative.
I'm very... Yes,
Yeah.
very illustrative and very
Yes,
literative, okay? Listen, it's not my fault. Okay, it is my fault, but, you know...
So
I
your
try...
brain thinks.
Yes, I write things, and I just, you know...
No, like, I get what you were going for. Let's just hope the judge does.
Well, he's still back there, so,
I mean, I feel like Crane also knows most people that have been through here well enough, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he'd be surprised by that. Okay. Talk to Ursula, too. I should say
It's a
talk to
little
Grace.
awkward
Gracie?
that, like... yeah, it's Gracie right now.
Gracie.
Fauna, my girl asterisk friend, was speaking against you coming out, but, you know, I'd...
Wait, what about what?
Oh, Fauna and I are dating.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, she's in love with me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, congrats.
I mean, yeah, congrats. Well, when did that happen?
I guess when she was in Parsons, she fell in love with me. And then we started dating when she came out.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I mean, congrats, you know.
Thanks.
And you're also hanging out with your ex?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, do you, like... Is he really your ex, or are you, like...
He's my ex.
Oh, okay, okay.
He's invested now, though.
He's invested.
Invested. I've also decided that he might be my pet because he and Fauna look cute together because they're both blonde. So if I keep them, then it's a matching set.
Okay, I see. Well, you do you, you know. You do you, boo-boo. Speaking of, you know...
I'm also kind of dating Ursula.
Are you? You are? What the fuck?
Yeah, so Fauna, Ursula, and I are the 3 weed-smoking girlfriends.
Huh. Okay, I just want to set some ground rules here. I don't engage... Listen, her and I, you know, we are it, okay? Her and I, we are it. I don't
Okay.
care what she does on her own time, but I'm not going to be part of whatever shenanigans you guys get up
I'm
to.
also just fuck Ursula. It's not, like, really emotional. So
Okay,
don't
well,
worry
no,
about it.
my point is I don't want to be involved in... If you decide to do that, I'm going to probably leave the house, so, you know...
Yeah, no, I've already told her that if you get paroled, I'm not coming over, so you two can have as
deserve all
much loud sex as you want.
Right. Okay. There'll be plenty.
I'm gonna go back in the
You
gallery.
go back to the...
Guys, quick question. Do you have a blanket confidentiality form I could just buy off you?
I don't. I can make you one, but Braun might actually. I think he probably has.
Okay, yeah. Murphy, you have one?
He's thinking, but I'll
Oh,
ask
okay,
him.
gotcha.
Do I have a what?
Do you have a blanket NDA she can buy?
A blanket NDA?
Yeah. Basically,
Uh,
I'm gonna have to film some tapes afterwards, and the person I will talk to.
I'd have to edit and redact one that I've signed that someone else gave me. I got one. I have access to one, but it would take me some time to proof and make sure it scrub any info off of one that I have.
Oh, okay.
I have
So I
available
can't
to me.
have like a short and sweet, like here's something, fill in the blank, within the next 15 minutes.
It shouldn't take me too long to edit one down, but
Okay.
you want it to be as comprehensive as possible, basically.
Yeah,
It's an NDA.
Yeah, basically just something I can just get fairly quickly, because I might need it.
Yeah. What's your timetable?
Like it's insane, like essentially right after this is over, I'm gonna meet this person, so.
Do you want me to just make him one?
Oh yeah, you do that.
Braun, I sent you 5K that time, because I didn't deserve all that.
Alright. Yeah, I can pay extra for it.
Oh yeah, okay, perfect. I'll work on it now.
Okay.
Hello, Chelsea.
Hey, Kenneth.
How are you?
Oh gosh,
Pretty
I
good.
feel like I undercharge. But call it 10 and we'll be good. I'll work on it.
Okay.
Did you
I
get-
don't have.
Did you get some good footage?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, nice.
Really nice speech, by the way.
Thank you. Was the scarecrow bit a little too like, I don't know, like hallucinatory? Did it sound like I was like coming off as like I had hallucinations or something?
More Batman villain, I'd say.
Okay, well that's typically what I would shoot for, so I guess that fits.
I mean, but this also, like, I've had a really in-depth interview with you, and I honestly feel I really know your story and your MO really well, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, Kennedy, if you were charging me, I don't have my phone on me.
Oh, no worries. I'll just text you my, like, state ID or whatever you do.
Okay, yeah, I can do that after, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, he's back.
All right, my turn to be long-winded. Okay, so there's a lot here. I went back and I delved into a lot of the past reports and people involved, people that spoke here, people that didn't, people that put their name on the documents, character witnesses. Looked at some of the other Parcel World and other affiliated things that are transpiring, have transpired. I heard a lot of commentary here today focused a lot on the propensity for Mr. Jesperson to continue his behavior or not. There were a lot of comments about the likelihood of him reoffending, his newfound, I guess, ability to, as he put it, prioritize his emotions or the feelings of others in certain ways. There was commentary from some folks about, the damage he had done and, the likelihood of it happening again. I recognize all that. There's a balance to things, right? There's a balance to the impact that has been done to society. In court, we weigh impacts against punishments, and we say, if your impact of a certain crime, call it theft, to society is, X, then Y punishment makes sense. Typically, the reason why, as some, mentioned, like Miss Dawson, that punishments for some crimes are different than others, even though they may have, on what surface level appears to be roughly the same characteristics, such as someone who goes around attempting to kill cops all the time. versus someone, who is found guilty of serial assaults and killings. It has a lot to do with the people involved and their sort of participation and the nature of how things occur. There is something decidedly different to the mind between, a bunch of cops strapping on, Kevlar and going to the latest vault robbery, versus someone being abducted from going to cash their paycheck at the vault, having their possessions stolen, having imagery carved into their back, and being used as sort of a message board for the proclivities of someone else. Now, we can sit here and have our own personal values and debates philosophically about which is worse or the same or whatnot. But my opinion is that there is a reason why the laws affect serial assaults and killings and things of that nature the way they do. And it has less to do with the actual action and more to do with the overall impact to society. I think that the nature of the fear and the discord that people like Mr. Jesperson and Carcer World create has to be treated very carefully. Now, we have heard a lot about Mr. Jesperson trying to get psychiatric help. He himself and his attorney have spoken about, the work that he tried to do with Mr. Riot. He's trying to do with his further psychologist there. And I think that while that is admirable, I still do need to recognize in his own words his commentary about his recognition of himself as a sociopath. And while, he may claim that he now chooses to prioritize his emotions or other people and his actions in certain ways, there is still the reality that as a self-admitted sociopath, I have to take everything he says with a grain of salt. Hell, I have to take everything his therapist thinks with a grain of salt, even if they did come here and testify. Because how do I know that they're not being manipulated? I have de facto evidence of people being manipulated, and in fact, in some ways, according to the reports and the history, being brainwashed almost. As an attorney, I represented Brett Maxwell at one point. I am all too familiar with sort of the havoc that is wrought by this group. I will say this: if this hearing was solely about the likelihood that Mr. Jesperson commits crimes again, I think that'd be an easy decision. I'd probably agree with Kennedy and Jesperson and say that he, could deserve parole. But unfortunately for him, that's not all this is about. There's also the impact that his crimes have had on people, that they will continue to have. I mean, hell, we got a current docket case right now about Carcer World. I think that, the idea is very poignant what Miss Dawson said about, he could do the same thing in prison as he could outside. She makes a very good point there. It resonated with me. He could very well recruit people from inside the prison. He could very well, create his army of, serial killer acolytes just as well behind bars as he could out of bars. But the flip side of that logic is that he could do the same things in prison that he wants to do outside of prison, such as prioritizing his emotions better, caring about people, dealing with them in positive ways, being a force for good in the community, self-reflection. All these things can happen inside prison, just as they could outside.
He's going back and forth.
I don't see a compelling reason here as to why he deserves freedom, because the people that he, either himself directly or at his instruction or as a part of what he created, have been tortured or violated or even in some cases attempted to be killed. I mean, all of these people are forever going to be imprisoned by what he did. There is no escape from them. There is no parole from the terror he instilled upon them. And in my personal opinion, the opinion of this court, he can do all the self-improvement and reflection and growth he wants as a person. He can just do it in jail. Parole is denied.
Well, I'm sorry about that. Should I ask if there's a re-application?
If you can.
Okay, I'll ask him.
And reapply in 6 months.
There you go.
6 months?
Ooh, what a long day of court, huh?
I'm sorry, Kenneth.
Sorry, guys.
1 for 3 on the day.
Sorry it worked out that way. Crane's a dick.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, you guys have any statement for the press, or rather keep it no comment for now?
No
Yeah,
comment.
I think no comment.
All right.
I'm working on that contract.
Yeah, thanks.
Agreement.
Fucking hell.
Oh, thanks, Nova.
You get a lot of shit, Murphy, but I appreciate you at least doing these things, because otherwise, no one would have a chance, right? Let's go.
Exactly. Exactly.
Alright, Kenneth. We'll meet at the other side.
Okay?
Okay?
Sorry it didn't work out, Kennedy.
It's okay. I'm just sorry for Kenneth.
I mean, if anything, I'll try to drop by come visit you.
If you wish.
Yeah.
You gonna give a statement to the press, Kennedy?
No, I'm gonna leave it at no comment for now.
Alright.
I feel like I'm not ready to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got
6 months is way too long.
Like, two months and a long time for him. 2 months of prep for me, and you know, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, as a friend, probably safer not to give a comment in a situation like this.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
like,
I mean, there's a lot of feelings, and I don't discount his decision making. It's just, you know, it's hard for someone that I feel like I've spent a bit of time with. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll finish making this.
That's, yeah, I'm not doing 6 months IRL.
Well, what a day, huh? What a day.
Yeah, I think you guys deserve a break. Like, how long have you been in court today?
7 hours.
Jesus.
I've done nothing else.
If it was 6 months prison equivalent, we would already be up
I've not
for
left
another
this building
parole
pretty
hearing.
much past 7 hours. Except to
Yeah.
go to the PD to gather someone for more court.
So yeah, you know that interview I wanted to do with you? I am not gonna bother you about that today.
Which interview was that?
The one about police brutality.
Oh yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be a bother, but yeah, I mean, my brain is kind of mush at this point.
Yeah, and I have another appointment to get to after.
I'm not waiting 6 months.
Just waiting to
I'm
see
just
if the prosecution
being real.
has a
I'm not
quote,
waiting
and
6
I'll
months.
Probably get going.
Well, tomorrow's Halloween, so I don't know what everybody's plans are for that, but I mean, I should be around at least tomorrow with a lot less on the docket. So if you're around tomorrow, maybe we can line that up then.
Yeah, we'll see about it. I mean, I have honestly this plus another story I need to be working on, and I have a bunch of other obligations during the day, but I'll definitely try my best.
Yeah, no worries. It's you know, it's your thing, so you know, whenever it's convenient for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a long, like, investigative piece that I know is gonna take forever to finish, so...
Where's all the DOC?
Honestly, might as well call it a documentary at this point.
Yeah,
The
well,
DOC all go
whatever I
to
can do
bed?
help, I'm happy.
I don't even think there's
happy to be
DOC
of assistance.
here.
Alright, I'm gonna go get some food.
Yeah,
Oh.
enjoy.
Okay, is this agreement going to be in relation to like an interview type thing, or what? Just so I have a context.
Well, wanna go in private?
One second, let me make sure. I don't. Is DOC going to take you back?
I have no idea.
I'm going to take care of that. One sec. Okay.
Do you have DOC that can
I mean, it's already been like 5 or 6 months.
Okay, they're arranging transport.
Can we find another judge?
When we do it again, we can. I think... It's difficult. Because he's the highest level. You know what I mean? So any other judge can't contradict him. The only place you go is a Senate appeal.
Thought that's gonna do me much better.
I agree. You know my email is always open. I'm going to talk to Chelsea really quick, and then if you're still here, I'll come out and chat some more. Just finishing up something for her real fast. She's been waiting on.
Oh, great, Kennedy, super. Hey.
I thought that was Posey for a second.
See you next weekend. You know what? I'm gonna show you an act of kindness. Give me a sec.
What is she doing? What is she doing? Well, what does an act of kindness mean with her?
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate your help. Yeah, but you don't have to. Oh, no, if you're tired, go ahead. Go to bed. We've got units here, so. Alright, thank you. Anita's gonna try to do something here for you. Alright? And it's gonna be a
Like
surprise. But, something I think it might not make up for today, but I don't know. She's gonna go somewhere to check something, alright? But in the
Very well.
meantime, let's get you taken up to Bolingbroke, and hopefully she can figure it out. All right?
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna get the normal cuffs on you, and then I'll unlink this linky if you wanna face away. I'll be honest with you. Gracie appearing was not on my bingo card.
Yeah, I never saw. I didn't foresee that one.
That was holy shit.
I should have expected that, but
Yeah, that was something. All right, let's get you out to my vehicle. Alrighty, I'm bringing the 95 outside now.
even the prosecution though is just like, ooh, that's just.
I'll stick with you here.
Much appreciated. I gotta get my vehicle out anyways. Who is parking in front of the valet? Please. Never do that. Oh, it's Ripley. It's okay. Ripley gets a pass. Ready? Let's get you here. Ready. Prisoner is loaded up. Everyone mount up. Alrighty, 359 rolling to Bolingbroke. Yes, he's a member of a group, former group known as Carcer World. It's a group of serial killers. So, to be honest, you're either looking for affiliates or you're looking for people who might want to attack him. So just be on the lookout for any suspicious vehicles. It's extremely unlikely. We haven't had any issues with the previous transport, but better safe than sorry. Also, Ophelia and Fauna dating makes perfect sense, but not something I had considered as like a thing that would happen.
It's I mean, it's yeah, I agree with that, you know. I wish both of them happiness.
Hey, firm, thank you. Yeah. Once I am inside the airlock, you guys will be good to break off. I do appreciate the support and you guys backing me up. .359 is inside the airlock. The transport is complete. I will be bringing him into the intake area near MaxSec. DOC, could I get you guys to, one of you, if you're free, to come by the new inmate area just so you can grab his stuff and make sure he gets it back?
No, I meant to wait for whatever it is you have planned.
She's just here. I don't know if she got it.
tried. It was closed.
I was gonna try to get you struck by.
Oh.
Hey, Ken.
I appreciate that. Hello, Anita.
How are you feeling?
You know, not particularly good, but you know, who would?
Yeah. I know.
Well, I am getting the hold ready. If you just want to grab he's got like slushies and stuff on him that I'm sure he'd want when he gets back in. His mask and what.
Okay.
Yeah, you're free to go.
Alright, take
You're
hold
free-
of for me now. Alright. Take a little just for now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second. Damn, even that stuff is still heavy for me. Give me a second. Hang on. It's claim for some space.
No worries.
Six months is a long time.
It is. Yeah.
Even I was shocked with that.
That is. I don't even know what numbers that even is.
We'll just give you one a full-on hold of 9999, and it should cover the 6 months.
Thank you, there.
I don't
know. Won't. That'll only cover. That'll only cover 2 months. Five should.
We can't. The
I
hold.
think 5 might work.
But you can't do 5 anymore.
Yeah, you can't do it. It needs to be like done multiple times, basically.
All right.
You need to. Are you doing it, or do you want me to?
I can do it.
You need to use hold, not jail.
Yeah, I'll do 4. Yep. Just know that it may seem like the local DOC wants to let you out, but the local DOC are dumb, and you know the drill. just
Mhm.
have them contact us. I'll put a note on your profile.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for us before we go through the?
Is there any perceivable way Anita, Odessa, of working something out with the both of you?
Even if we, in a way, pardon any charges or anything like that, because it's been seen and decided by a judge, there's literally nothing in our side. The charges have been pressed. It's
Well, yeah, the
it's
charges have
yeah.
been pressed. The charges were pressed, like, I don't even know, 5 months ago, 2.5 months ago. I meant everything that I said today. Whether that's holds any meaning to any of you, I mean, that's up to you to decide, I suppose, but
I think the biggest thing is to continue to mean that for those 6 months. Continue to prove. I know it may seem hopeless right now and hard to see what that future looks like, but you've got Rick in here, Jocelyn, Honey, Betty. And you're surrounded by people who do
they
care for
don't
you.
wake up. Well, I suppose in the end what I told you on the island is true, Anita, you know. Told you that I would be alone. And I think that that's probably more than enough satisfaction for you.
I don't think any satisfaction from anything that's happening, Kenneth.
Hmm.
Right now, it's actually out of our hands. I had no
You're
idea
not
he
in
was
our
gonna say
custody
like
anymore.
within
You're in the
6
custody
months,
of
to be honest. So
Well, I appreciate you guys, you know, paying me mind, you know, in any capacity.
hey, next time you're awake, call me and I'll try to get you a shortwave delivery at least.
Okay.
Yeah, I think most of the Shrugway guys are around, in the morning. So
Usually around like a little bit after the storm.
can someone confirm his PayPal ID for me, please?
His PayPal ID is gonna be 625. Again, you
Yep.
need to do a hold.
Yep, 4 nines.
900,
Yep.
yeah, 9,999 hours are 416 days, so that should be enough. Why we hold now, not chill.
Oh, I'm thinking hours, months, not. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Sorry, you're right. my brain go burr. It's late for me.
Yeah, no, it's not
Yep, you're right. Alrighty. Any last things you need to say, Kenneth, before we send you?
I'm not going anywhere.
Kenneth, keep smiling.
Oh shit. Oh no, I am. Okay. Probably should have undid the thing, the cuffs.
Hey,
Hi.
how'd it go?
Horribly.
Um,
Is their DOC awake?
she was. I don't know. She went to, motor pool. What the hell happened? They denied.
I mean, denied alright. Until fucking fucking 6 months.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm definitely going to fight this.
How?
I'm just going to fight this.
That is fucking insane. That's like,
Sorry, man.
that's like a,
Here,
over
let me help
90
you out,
years,
Jessica.
right?
I don't really know how many years it is, but that's
That's like,
Here, let me.
it's like 180
This is yours,
years.
by the way. There you go.
it's a hell of a lot more than what I was ever told originally, which was 14 or 30 or 60. But you know, it's Crane, so you know, he has all the authority.
Holy shit. What was the reason?
It's how do I even so essentially it's like, well, you know, he can do the same things in prison that he could do outside of prison. Like, no matter where I'm at, you know, I could, theoretically speaking, recreate the Smileys or whatever and cause as much damage inside of prison as I could outside of prison. So regardless of where I am, if I were to choose to do it, if I were to choose to go down that path, it doesn't matter where I am.
Okay, but
So here I am.
have you,
Damn.
is there
Even the
not
prosecution
evidence,
was like, what the fuck?
is there not evidence of rehabilitation?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. There was, I mean, there's a whole thing, you know, that he spoke on. I'm fighting this shit. I don't give a fuck how. I'm fucking fighting it.
What's going on?
It's fucking insane. That is actually insane.
Yeah, tell me about
I'm
it.
sorry to hear that, man. I was definitely rooting for you.
Well. And then there's also just the fact that there's another case going on that still hasn't seen trial because nobody fucking knows how to schedule a case in this city. With the Honey and Betty stuff.
Mm. Oof. Well, if yours is any indication, them motherfuckers ain't getting out either.
Probably not.
That's crazy. How many years have you served?
Well, so far I've been in here for like 100 and, I don't know, 170 something maybe?
And you're sticking you back in
For
that
like,
is-
I don't know, another, like, I've already been in here for like 5 or 6 months, so.
Holy shit. Bro, you gonna be in here till the economy collapse. That's crazy.
That's what it sounds like.
Holy shit.
I don't understand. Sorry. And
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
man. That's sorry, man.
Just,
I don't know.
Is something I can do to cheer you up?
I don't know. There's not much that can cheer me up right now.
That's like the worst news possible.
Yeah, there's nothing for me to do. Oh wait, my stuff. Wait, do you have my things?
Your what?
Do I have shit? I thought I had shit. I guess I don't have shit.
The only thing I found was your slushy, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll get that back in 6 months.
Or she can put a collar on you and let you go to the front and clean it.
Yeah.
I would wait until like Commander is around and ask.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking crazy. Holy shit.
I mean, I had a feeling there was gonna be... Obviously, I had a feeling I was gonna potentially get denied, but, like... 6 months, or 180 days, or whatever the number, that's, like... Like, it's one thing to get denied for... like 30 days or 60 days or whatever, but 180 days is just, that's, there's no role play with staying in here for 180 days. Sure, the concept of starting a whole Smiley organization in prison is, like, you know, theoretically speaking, that sounds like an interesting concept, but it's not practically possible. It's not practically possible. Like, So actually, this court is of the opinion that while it's true that many believe he is unlikely to reoffend, it's also true that he can do all of his self-reflection and prioritization of emotions behind bars. There is no end to the impact this man's actions. Those are far ahead in our society, and his sentence in this court's eyes remains as life with the possibility of parole. I don't know. I'll get something figured out. It's like just it's just like I'll get it figured out in a way that it's just yeah, I don't know. Also, thank you for the raid, Elite Takeover. I appreciate it. Actually, I don't have any food. Well, I guess I have like a... Well, I'm about to log off anyway, but... Like, I don't even know if anybody's ever... Well, technically, okay, so the whole parole thing is kind of newish, so... It's like 180 years. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like, there's a lot that I want to say that I'm not going to say. I mean, theoretically speaking, I think the mayor does. Like, there's probably stuff that we can do. Like, there's definitely stuff that we can, like, do. Like, if Oswaldo won mayor, I'm sure Oswaldo would probably, like, pardon or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's the thing. Mel gets in here and literally is on the verge of being killed, and then he walks out. So, I don't know. Oh... Like, I'm not feeling as, you know... Like, I expected to feel a lot more potentially upset if I was denied. I don't feel nearly as upset as you might think. Maybe I just haven't really let it really... I don't know. Maybe I haven't really just, like, looked at it yet. As, like, a... I don't know, a thing that has happened. I mean, here's the thing. Lennon's probably going to end up being let out tomorrow. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. The thing is, Lennon's been in here for like, I don't know, 500 years. Maybe more than that. Well, more than 500 years. So, I mean, that's kind of a semi-different situation. So it's almost as if, like, you know, he wants him to kind of be in here for lifer status, like a lifer way of being in here before he gets out. Like, if he were to get out, theoretically speaking. I mean, there's also the Senate appeal thing, too, but it's just like... I mean, he's been a lifer for 5 months. I mean, I guess Oberyn's gonna be coming out a lot. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just don't know.
We ripping laps this weekend? For sure.
Oh. I mean, there's a lot of practicality and truth in everything that he said, you know. It's not like I can... I mean, utterly, it's like everything, though, that he... It almost feels like all the work, though, that was done was just essentially pointless. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, well, what can we do? What's going to be different in 6 months? Other than the potential reality that 4.0 is going to be like a thing. It's like now it's like truly like a, oh well, you can, it would be essentially a repeat of 3.0 to 4 or 2.0 to 3.0, going from, I don't know, fucking I mean, that's a guaranteed release, obviously, at that point. But it's just like, it's something that I didn't want to do this time. I didn't want to repeat that story again, having him get out because of... Yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm just there's a lot there's a lot going through my head, but there's nothing going through my head right now as I sit here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like, you know, it's a definitely a lot, you know, from an IC perspective. It does make sense from an IC. That's what I'm saying is I've already done all of it, so it's just like there's nothing more to do. There's nothing more to do. I mean, there's no psychologists. There's no proper lawyers. There's barely a proper DOJ. I mean, it's... I mean, sure, we could go for, like, a Senate appeal, but, like, what is there... Like, I don't know. It's... Hell, we can maybe even, again, talk to, like, a mayor or something. I don't know. But, I mean, I think that even a mayor, though, can't necessarily just pardon somebody for... without, like, a judge approving it or something. I don't know. Might be a licensed therapist soon. I don't know. I'm just... I need to get off of this server right now. I can't be on there. Like, I'm trying to keep it Gucci, but it's hard to be Gucci. Like, I try my best to stay as level-headed about things as I possibly can, and there's a lot of people who definitely blow up at a lot of different things, and, I'm trying not to, I'm not gonna do that, because I don't want to be like, oh, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Fuck this shit. I'm not gonna wake up again, or, something like that. I don't know. But, like, it's just, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do with him. Like, now. There's a lot of stuff I want to do with him now. But I can't do any of it in prison. It's just, it's not... As much as he says that I can do it all in prison, same thing I can do it outside of prison. It doesn't really... I'm not doing any cam tonight. Also, thank you for the follow, Old Man Howler. I think that was 33 minutes ago, and I apologize for not saying anything, but it's cinematic mode. I don't get much there. Oh God! I mean, I'm gonna probably think about whatever the hell needs to happen next. I guess more tomorrow or whatever, but Jesus. Yeah, no, I'm ending things. See you guys later. Peace.